Hi, I'm Nick Rojas. I'm the athletic video coordinator here at Providence College, and that's me right there as well. This is actually a new job title for me. I was just hired full-time about a few weeks ago. But if you told me about 12 years ago if this is where I'd be here at Providence College, I'd ask you how in the world did I end up here? But every single career move I've made over the past decade plus has got me to this exact position where I am right now. And as you'll see in this video, my resume wasn't exactly built in a day.
It started when I was 14 years old. Just started high school and was obsessed with sports. Eat, sleep, breathe, sports. And always a ham for the camera, my interests in TV and video from my childhood are starting to become a responsibility. I started filming for my brother's Pop Warner football games for my dad, who was one of the coaches for the team. They would use that footage to help them teach the kids better technique and what they could do better for the next game. I had a great time. I just scratched the surface when it came to operating a camera. One day in my freshman year of high school, I was watching the morning show that we watched in homeroom every day, Sunrise on Eagle's Wings. What a great name. When the sports portion of it came on, I couldn't help but think, I could do that. I applied, interviewed, and auditioned for the job. Thank goodness that video file has been erased of my audition, because this was my first time as a sports anchor, and it must have been dreadful. Thankfully, I got the job. My love of sports and my experience with working a camera had opened the door, and I just took the first step. The summer before I started the job, I met with a sports idol of mine, John Meter-Perel, who had worked at WEEI for years, a radio station I listened to religiously. After I told him what my plans were, he told me to look at one school when it came to TV and radio. He said Ithaca College. It was the summer of 2007, 3.5 years before I'd set foot on a college campus, and my heart already knew where I was going next. Now it was a matter of putting in the work to get there. Over the next 3 years of high school, I would anchor the morning show, building up an entire sports segment that used to be a PowerPoint slide into something much, much more. Over that time, my knowledge of working on cameras, editing footage, creating stories, and hosting all expanded greatly as my comfortability on camera also grew.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey, well I need a dollar, dollar, dollar.
Happy Wednesday to you all. One quick announcement before I get into the awards for indoor track. I just want to remind everyone that there will be an Eagles Athletic Club meeting Thursday night at 7 in the CAF. All members should attend. Okay, so recently the indoor track season came to an end, but it was a great season in which the team won the class for the first time in 20 plus years, placed second in the division, and top in the states, in the top 5 in the states with many great athletes. Some awards include, let's show them here, the Sid Griffin Award goes to Cyrus Cousins. Long hair? Check. Long distance running? Check.
I interned at 92 Pro FM for a whole summer, gaining experience in radio, which led me working the switchboard for the Pawtucket Red Sox. That job led me to do some small video projects for the team, which would be a major factor in my life story down the road. All the while, my ability to interview people and think quickly on live TV grew stronger by the day. By the time it was the point in my life to go to college, I knew there was one place to go, the Roy H. Park School of Communications at Ithaca College. The key to my first year of college was to stick out. To make a long story short, I was hired to be the analyst for Bombers Live studio show, the pregame, halftime, and postgame studio program for the Ithaca College football team, which is viewable on ICTV Channel 16 in Ithaca and online. This was going to be the first time people other than my friends at high school were going to see me on TV. To say I was nervous on the first segment was an understatement, but I was able to survive. After that, I had a successful ICTV career, producing and appearing on several shows during my 4 years, culminating in doing play-by-play for football for the season, including the annual Cortica Jug game, which had 10,000 viewers nationwide, a station record.
Less than 2 minutes ago here in the third quarter. Dempsey back to pass. Looking into the end zone, and it is caught by Joel Lynch. What a catch by Lynch. He gets some approval from his teammates there. The Bombers put up 6. It's 21-20, Cortland.
Nearly 15,000 protesters clashed with Chile's police force Saturday during an anti-Columbus Day march organized by the country's indigenous groups. Activists have been calling for the return of ancestral lands and the right to self-determination. This year marked the 521st anniversary of the arrival of Christopher Columbus to the Americas. Protesters are treated as terrorists by the Chilean government, and anti-terrorism law is used against them. The UN has urged Chile to stop treating their indigenous protesters this way.
It was not easy to do everything I did at ICTV, though. They required me to work many later hours on a lot of nights where my friends would be going out instead. For 3 years, I traveled to road games for the football team, sleeping in hotels, studying the ins and outs of the team just to get ahead in my work so I could get a job after college. To go ahead past college, we have to go back to high school. Remember how I mentioned earlier that I did video projects for the Paw Sox? Well, fast forward about 3 years to 2011 when the media coordinator for the team began to stream Paw Sox games for minor league baseball TV, and he thought to hire me as a camera guy. This took me out of the mascot department for the team, which was a nightmare, to something I actually wanted to do. I've worked there as a member of the broadcast for 6 seasons and 8 overall since. The most important person I met there was Chris Judge, who was the director. He worked and still does at Providence College as a video person, and I was able to befriend him that first summer as a colleague. Me, the camera guy, and him, my director. We'd keep in touch during the school year on Twitter between seasons working there, and he was a great person to talk to about video stuff. One day in the winter during my senior year of college, he passed along a job as a video graduate assistant in the Sports Information and Marketing Department at Providence College. He knew I wanted to work in TV out of college, so he told me to ask around my other buddies at school if they would be interested instead of me. But as time went on, that job seemed more and more appealing, and my prospects of getting onto TV right out of college were running fairly slim. I applied and interviewed before I graduated, and shortly after, was hired to work at Providence College. All of this could not have been possible if I had never worked with Chris that first summer at the Paw Sox. I started here after Labor Day as a graduate assistant and hit the ground running. Not only would I be doing my job as a marketer by making commercials for our sports teams, but I also was able to continue my pursuit of being a sports reporter. I hosted a weekly hockey show and did game day reporting for basketball.
We're in the trust tree here, all right? So I'm not going to judge you for anything you pick. You're a Western New York guy. You guys are known for your food. What's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
I like anything with gravy on it.
It's always good.
But I'm going to have to pass over all the way to the
Fantastic.
I brought home full thing.
It's usually a tight game between crosstown rivals Providence and Brown, but behind Ryan Fazikis' three-point shooting and Chris Dunn's assists, that was not the case on Saturday night as the Friars won 94-73. After the game, Coach Cooley spoke about the success they had against the Bears. Got to travel across the country for tournaments and witness the Friars win a national championship. I even got a championship ring out of the deal. Not bad. I've been to many places that would not have been possible had I not worked as a GA here in Providence, even completing graduate school in the meantime. Much like an undergrad, I put my head down and worked my fingers to the bone, leaving work at 11, midnight, and sometimes even 1 a.m. to do all the work before the day's end. It was never easy during the year, but I knew this would be my best chance to give the college great work, but also to grow as a reporter in the meantime. Apparently someone was paying attention, and early in the 2015-2016 academic year I was offered the position as athletic video coordinator, a job they actually created just for me. I was flattered, and I was thankful that the department valued me that much. I was hired on June 1st as a full-time member of the team, and that's where I talk to you at this moment. The lesson I learned through the entire process, even back in early high school, is that you have to be the one to take the first step. After that, you work like you're working for the next job, and momentum will take you in the right direction. Every job I've ever been hired to do was because of all the work I had put in before it. Someone is always paying attention, and while staying late on work nights or on weekends may seem like a grind at the moment, that kind of dedication will not go unnoticed if you are not afraid to put yourself out there.
That's my career's journey. And like I said before, I love what I do. I get to do what I want, and I'm compiling a reel that will hopefully help me with the next job. But until then, I'm going to keep my head down and keep going to work.